What up, dudes? Welcome back to Sidequest, a Yo Video Games podcast portion where we talk about something that maybe didn't need a whole episode, but something we want to talk about anyways. Also, a good chance for you guys to ask us about something topic wise, and we'll cover it here, just for you guys. So,
Get
yeah,
weird.
and we're getting close to 20 episodes now, and or at least we're up there, anyways, or not quite there yet, but
Yeah, I think we're 18. I think this is 18 right now.
yeah, so we're getting there. And yeah, so this week came up. I kind of saw this a little bit today, and I guess I didn't know you got involved in it too, and that
Well,
is this topic of skill-based matchmaking.
so it's
That's
it's
basically
been
the general
getting
subject.
it's been getting a lot of it's been getting attention um mostly from content creators. A lot of content creator like Twitch streamers and stuff like that uh get mad about it. Um I guess the gist of why streamer and what caused the debate today was a guy named Tim the Tatman, who I guess streams a lot of FPS stuff. And he was saying that he will play Warzone or like BRs because they don't really have SBMM, which isn't true. They totally do. But he's burnt out on like COD multiplayer because SBMM is exhausting. And I made the mistake of saying what I thought was the most innocent of like, I kind of understand what he's coming from, and here's the reason why I understand where he's coming from. And like it caused a couple of debates. Um, but basically the gist is that like skill-based matchmaking is supposed to make it so that you're never just stomping noobs or getting the absolute shit kicked out of you by someone way better than you.
Yeah, just like keeping you fighting people around your skill level the whole time.
Right. And on for like me, I play a couple hours here and there. All right, not so sweaty. I mean, it gets sweaty and it can get frustrating because what it leads to is, especially in the times of YouTube, everybody min maxing or using the absolute best loadout and doing every tip and trip that they see on YouTube to, you can snipe past this wall around this corner and you can just see a sliver. And as soon as it goes dark, you pull the trigger and the guy dies. And that's where you get like shit where it's like never run down that hallway because you will get sniped because there's always someone camping that hallway. There's
Yeah,
always someone looking just over this rock through this fucking window down into this courtyard, because they saw it on YouTube. And you basically just always get locked into these sweaty fucking matches. And if you play a couple hours like I do, it's annoying, but get good. Whatever. If you're Tim the Tatman, and I assume he plays for 8 hours a day like most streamers, that, that shit is downright hell. And so my point was like, it'd be kind of nice to have a casual match that doesn't go based with skill based matchmaking, that doesn't, you know, record your stats. Because ideally, skill based matchmaking should take your win loss ratio to bump you up. It doesn't do that. Really, it's like, hey, did you win the last few matches? We're going to put you in
yeah.
progressively.
It's less about overall and more about like current, which I kind of agree with in a way because it's like imagine you got really high in skill-based matchmaking, then you just stop playing the game. You had to go on vacation, you had to go on a business trip, and then you come back and you're awful. Like you're not at that level you were when you were playing every
Right.
day for a month. So then you jump back in, but you passed the grade. You got to be in here now.
Yeah, it's just not it's not that complex of an algorithm. Um and on the idea of it of like, oh yeah, it just constantly matches with you with somebody of similar, skill level or slightly better. Okay, I guess, sort of. But in a team-based game, that works great for fighting games where it's one-on-one. The idea
Yeah,
works,
that
but
is
in a
such a
team-based
different
game,
ball of wax.
right? In a team-based game where you might have some chuckle fuck who, you know, is doing all that min-maxing, and all of a sudden, you're playing with nothing but those motherfuckers, exhausting. Or you have someone who's absolute ass garbage and you're just dragging around ankle weights the whole time playing against sweaty motherfuckers who are doing everything in their power to like jump around corners into a drop shot, fucking what, like exhausting shit.
Hmm.
I can see why it's exhausting. So all I was saying was like, oh, we should just have like a casual match too, where you can like try out new weapons, where it's not so serious. Because I like to win. I like playing competitively. So it's going to be sweaty. So all these people who are wasting their fucking time being like, well, why don't you just lose a couple to go back down? I don't want to lose. I want to play competitively. I'm not arguing against skill based matchmaking. I'm fine with it. All I'm saying is I understand why this man is saying he doesn't like it. That's it. Uh, Now, there's a lot of arguments for and against, and also there was that controversy. I don't really remember if this ever got confirmed, but do you remember that controversy where it turned out that Infinity Ward or Activision maybe was like the big streamers, they would put them in lobbies
Hmm.
like they were whitelisted, so they'd go into lobbies with people that weren't skill-based matchmates, so they'd absolutely wreck shit.
Yeah, that was the thing.
Yeah, so I don't know if that got confirmed, but also if Tim the Tapman's being like, "Oh, it's exhausting. That's why I do BR," and that's what they were doing in the BR lobbies, it's like, well, yeah, of course you love that shit. You're just wrecking shop all day long. Like
Yeah,
you're
the
just sitting
streamer
there.
thing, I think it was a lot like they would put streamers in lobbies with like new accounts and other streamers, kind of just to try to avoid one was just to avoid stream
Stream
sniping.
sniping, yeah.
So they would kind of like there was like special credence given to them. So that's
It
just kind of one of those, what are you gonna do?
I do think that skill-based matchmaking, especially if it ever gets refined, is great for ranked matches. It's great for ranking your stats. However, I we have friends who are parents and get 45 minutes a day to play and probably just want to hop into a casual match of team deathmatch
Hmm.
and don't want to play with every sweaty motherfucker out there who, quite frankly, a lot of the people you're playing against are, 20 years old and have 6 hours till their next class starts, and this is all they're going to do. Uh, and I'm not
We know
shitting
because
on
we've
that.
been there.
Yeah, I was that 20-year-old who had that free time and did the shit out of it, played the shit out of things. But it's again, I'm not trying to like argue to get rid of ranked or skill based matchmaking. All I'm saying is like casual matches have a place, and
I
they
think there
should
should be
still
a
be
free
there.
for all.
Yeah, there
You
should
know,
be like
like I
a
think they have it right now, currently in rotation on Warzone. What's called Caldera Clash. It's literally 50 versus 50.
yeah,
You
that's
know,
cool as hell. That's
and
fun.
it's like who cares? That is the ultimate who cares match. But that is like the best way to level up guns if you don't want to spend money. And I'm like, yeah, you should just have this mode all the time. Just have a mode where if people just want to test shit or just like dick around, um,
Yeah, just to have a fucking low stakes, no
yeah,
recorded stats bullshit. Um, because the reason they have stats is because they want you to care about them. That's why
yeah,
they
that's true.
that's why they put it. They want you to be competitive because it keeps you playing the game.
Yeah,
And
and
I get
people
that.
people really get into it, and how my their KD that's been a thing for
Oh my
15
god.
years.
Yeah,
What's your
well,
KD? What's your KD? Which is basically just like your E penis measurement.
I was a real annoying fuck because I don't think so COD 4, which was the one I was the most sweaty at. Uh my KD was only like 2 something. Max had like a 3.1 or 3.4 or some shit like that. Um, but I was playing Search and Destroy, and so my win ratio, I had like a 4 or a 5.0 win ratio. Is through the roof. It was stupid. Like I had a stupid if we had skill-based matchmaking in that game, exhausting. I would have been I would have been fucking screaming all the time. Like, just all the time. Oh,
Unlike
granted,
your
I was
brother.
the bad guy. Yeah. Yeah, I was the sweaty motherfucker doing that stuff. Um, so I was the devil in that case. But my point is like skill-based matchmaking, perfectly fine. But one, I think because we are I think a lot of the community that we're a part of is fighting game community.
Yeah. We're
Naturally a competitive community.
Yeah, and we're and for fighting games, you're more prone to want skill based matchmaking, and King of Fighters 15 was such a
Right.
great example of why you need skill based matchmaking, because that game was literally like you're either going to play someone who's never played a game,
or who has
Right.
never stopped playing
Or
this.
never stop playing. You either get people who's never played a video game, and then you get people who've never stopped playing King of Fighters.
Right.
And that would just bounce back and forth to each extreme every time. And it's like, but
And
there's the whole other problem there, and that's because it's King of Fighters, and that's because nobody fucking plays King of Fighters. Like, I know I just offended everyone south of the equator, but hear me out. When you're here, when you're in, when you're going to our servers and our lobbies,
there's not a
uh,
lot of there's not a lot of people playing it.
not a lot of people play King of Fighters north of really really north of Mexico. Honestly, it never really took off. It's always been respected, but it's never taken off. So
And it was always like a beloved one in arcades, but it never like
yeah, but it never blew up.
yeah.
Never blew up, and it's good and it's a quality product, but it's very technical. It's very hard to master. And the thing is, you just don't have a lot of people playing. So you get into this point with a game like that where it's super important to have skill-based matchmaking, but you don't have any pool to pull from.
Right, and then you take COD, which has millions of people concurrently playing, and you don't need skill-based matchmaking, not really, especially in team-based game modes like
Yeah.
that. You just don't fucking
It's
need it.
it's like fighting games need it, definitely. But then fighting games have the problem of like, well, what if no one's playing the game? What do you do? And then there's things like COD, which will never have a fucking, population problem.
Right.
But at the same time, it's kind of like, I don't know, like when you have things like Rebirth where you have respawns, and it's like this motherfucker is sitting in this one area and he's killing you like a demon every time. Stop landing there.
Yeah, just don't go back there.
Land
Right,
somewhere else.
right.
Because chances are someone else is going to pick him off eventually. It doesn't have to be you.
Well,
Um,
and the reason why BR, again, doesn't really need skill-based matchmaking is one, you either die really early and it's like no big deal, just hop out, or you die really late, again, no big deal, you just go start a new game. You've been playing for like
yeah,
it's not like you're fucking, sweating it out for 40 minutes straight.
yeah.
Granted, I don't know if you like to play this way, but when I play BR, I like to drop in hot and just be in gunfights the
Dropping
majority
in
of the game.
hot early on is how you get good at it.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Well, that's how I
because
always like to do it.
you get used to movement, mobility, pacing, like what you need to do in a raw gunfight. The
Yeah,
best way to do that is to be in a real match, because even in lobbies, people are not playing the same way. I'm brain off when I'm in the lobby shooting people,
right.
the pregame lobby, because everyone just immediately comes back. Like, go to a real game where it's an actual competition, a competitive match. Drop in hot, get used to just everything, and then it'll be good. Now, there's the other problem, which is Warzone pistols are a fucking waste of time. They might as well have given you an airsoft gun. Um,
Well, yeah, because
they're
body armor just makes pistols fucking pointless.
and everyone starts with 2 pips of body armor, anyways. So
Right.
every the worst gun that's not a pistol will beat a pistol.
You either have to get rid of loadouts or you have to just make it so that you spawn with your loadout.
Honestly, like, so they had a thing called Resurgence Supreme, which is already gone. It was around for a week or two. And every gun on the map, they put a bunch of guns on there, and every gun you found was a gold or purple variant, which basically mean like kitted
Optimized
out,
to yeah.
fully kitted out, optimized guns. Every gun, and they're all good guns, right? I never did so well. I never did so well consistently in Warzone as I did in Resurgence Supreme. And it kind of made me realize, I'm like, yeah, because so many of the guns on the ground are trash, and
Right.
it's just about loadout. Everything about the game is about loadout, and it was also kind of like, it was not empowering, but like encouraging to me, because you know what it told me is like, no, you're good. It's just that there's so much, the weapon balance in this game is stupid.
Right.
Because if everyone's on the same weapon balance, you do so much better when everyone is at the same level with their weapons. So I'm like, yeah, fuck loadouts.
Well, you remember that week that they had the three person team, no loadouts, just whatever guns you
Oh,
find.
classic style, which they did
Classic, yeah.
once for a week, like years ago, and never did again.
Yeah, and we got like 4 wins in a row, just like over and over and over.
I
I
played
think in
with
the same
you.
night.
I only played with you once. I only played that mode one time with you, and we won.
Yeah, I got
We
like
won.
I played it on the last day that it was a thing, and I got 4 back-to-back wins where it's just like over and over. I was like, "Oh, we should just do that instead of having to race to your fucking loadout all the time." Um, but I'm hoping for Warzone 2 whenever that
Doesn't have
happens.
loadouts.
Yeah, it doesn't have loadouts.
Mm-mm.
They've already said that?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
people are.
excellent.
Oh, people are pissed. The COD community is not happy about it.
Really? I'm coming into this blind. I
You
purposely didn't look
can
anything up
you
on it.
can go to a buy station and you can buy your gun, but you don't have perks.
That's
So
beautiful.
if you get a bunch of money and you find a buy station, you can buy your gun that you kit out and your weapon loadout, but you don't get the perks. You don't get a full loadout.
So no one gets perks, or you have to find perks.
Nobody has perks. I don't know if they're
That's
gonna
good.
have perks as like a drop or like a lootable item. I don't know if that's gonna happen. That's in the game right now. They added that to Warzone. You can literally find perks.
Oh,
Um,
really? Yeah. See. I think like fuck perks. You don't need them in Warzone,
well,
or just have everyone have the same perks. Everyone's
because
going to use the
well,
same
when
fucking
you
perks,
played the game, everyone ran Ghost.
right?
Because Ghost would you wouldn't even be seen on baby monitors, like the little alien style motion sensor. UAVs, baby monitors, like Ghost would just take you away from you were basically invincible unless you were firing an LMG. But when on classic mode, if you found a monitor in a box, no one had Ghost because no one
Yeah,
had perks.
you're
So
dominating.
you were able to hunt the shit out of people if you found that thing.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, like, and they've heavily nerfed Ghost now. Not people just don't run it as much. But like, yeah, you can find perks now laying around. But I don't know if that's in modern or I don't know if that's in Warzone 2. But like, yeah, people are not happy about the fact that they're not going to be playing for loadouts anymore. And I'm kind of like, good. Fuck
yeah.
all y'all. Like, play with what you find.
I'm okay with it. So I guess final thing to talk about is get rid of or bring back a casual mode. I'm okay with skill based matchmaking,
Yeah,
but
I get it. I get Warzone is a free to play game, and they're kind of banking on people being impatient and buying a kitted gun or buying a
right,
battle pass. I get it. I get that. But on the other hand, I'm also like, wouldn't I think you should always just have one of those where the clash modes, the 50 on 50 fights, the really
right,
who gives a shit modes. Just
yeah,
drop in and you have respawns and you're just playing to learn how to play the game. Um,
yeah,
I think that stuff's really good. Plunder's kind of also a good supplement for that if they have it. Um, but yeah, like I don't know. I hate loadouts because it almost feels weird. Like loadouts like almost slimy. Like it's designed in a way so we're constantly rebalancing guns. So content creators have something to content create, but more so that we have something to sell in our store
right,
because we're
yeah,
going to rebalance the guns and then we're going to sell like a really heavily kitted version of that gun in the store. So you could just, give us $10. You're going to have the best gun. We changed it this week and now it's this gun.
don't
Now,
work at it. And I don't blame people for doing that, by the way. Like I know that I make fun of that, but like I don't blame people. Like nobody got time for that. You want to buy the gun, you're gonna have fun with it.
I don't
Fine,
know.
fuck it, do it.
I mean, again, I've spent $2 on that game and that's because they gave me a gorilla suit and I could throw people 50 yards. That's, that's entertainment. That's value.
Give me the gorilla suit right away, is what you're
That,
saying.
that's value, but no, that's good money value. You can't throw a motherfucker 100 yards if you don't buy the gorilla suit, and it's a gorilla suit.
That's beautiful. I
So,
agree.
so to me, I'm like, yeah, this is what I want to spend money on.
The
That's
last
what I.
the last two games that I played in Warzone, I won. One was on Rebirth Island, by sitting in a bush. Um, it was the
Bush
last
Wookie.
circle. Yeah, and I sat in a bush, but I played as that guy that was wearing the bright, shiny red suit with the bright red
Oh yeah,
goggles. And
yeah.
I just like I ran across the street, people were shooting me, and then I went around a corner and just turned and sat in a bush. And when they came chasing around the corner, I killed them in one. But fucking, I spent. If you give me a ridiculous dude to buy, I'll fucking buy him. But all right, that's my rant on skill based matchmaking and Twitter arguments. We'll catch you next time, dudes.
Later, dudes.